After months of speculation, Baker Mayfield finally got traded here today. The Panthers have acquired the former #1 overall pick in exchange for a 2024 conditional 5th-round draft pick. And the deal is pending a physical, and all parties split the financials to make it happen. All right, guys, we've talked a lot about Baker Mayfield on this show, where he was going to go. Are you guys surprised by this move?
Not at all. I think this was one of the teams that people thought Baker Mayfield would fit with. It's a team that certainly needs a starting caliber quarterback. I'm not exactly sure that we're convinced that any of the guys that they have on their roster would be a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield right now. Now, you mentioned the financials of this, and I think that was a big part of why this would take so long. There's a Deshaun Watson case that was, you know, there's a lot of moving pieces to that. Some people thought, well, maybe Cleveland will try to keep him around for a year. He never wanted to play there. They wanted to get the money figured out. So it ends up that Cleveland, it seems like, is going to pay $10.5 million from the reports. Carolina is going to pay $5 million. And then you've got $3.5 million where Baker says he's just going to take a pay cut based off of what that fifth-year option would have been. Makes a lot of sense, and this is a place where he can go in day one, have some success. Now, I think the biggest thing for him is he's going to need to behave more like a quarterback when he gets to Carolina. He's going to have to be, so he's going to have to be that leader that we've seen. He's done a great job with leadership. I think sometimes he's a little bit too edgy. He has to control himself emotionally. And then on the football side of things, he's a tough guy. He's a rugged player. And I think a lot of people appreciate that. Your quarterback needs to be a guy who can be healthy on the field all the time. That's going to be one thing that you can work on. But this is a great opportunity for him.
I think it's an interesting end to the Baker Mayfield era in Cleveland. Like, we've known it was coming for a while, but what they thought he would be when they drafted him #1 overall, and what the ending ended up being, it's kind of sad in a lot of ways, because you thought that, okay, here's a guy that finally, after the long laundry list of quarterbacks that they had over the last decade or so, that Baker would be the guy that would take them to the next level. And I think in a lot of ways, he didn't reach the expectations that maybe people in Cleveland thought he would reach. But if you look at the quarterbacks they've had over the last 15 years and then you line them up, he wasn't that bad in a lot of different ways.
Well, the bar was set really low for Cleveland, and I think
yes,
we saw glimpses of that, and he had the weapons, which I think a lot of people, that's what kind of did him in there.
I mean, he was in a good situation. They had a really strong run game. You mentioned some of the weapons, like he could throw the ball not only to wide receivers, but to tight ends. When you look at Baker Mayfield, he took over a roster that was a 1-win team, and he got them their first playoff win in 30 seasons. So this is not to say that Baker Mayfield isn't going to be an effective starting quarterback. I don't think his top end was what people expected. And then when you start to evaluate Deshaun Watson, take all of the other things out of it, that's a better quarterback. There's not a discussion on that.
I think it'll be a big regret for him looking back, not making it work with Odell, Jarvis, that run game, and that defense.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he has some success with the Panthers, but the drama will continue because they are going to play each other on September 11th.